On a quiet evening, an elderly man was walking near the outskirts of his small town when he spotted something unusual. Amid the piles of discarded boxes and bags near a waste site, there was a lone burlap sack lying motionless. Approaching it with curiosity, his heart sank as he peeked inside. 3 tiny kittens, no more than a few weeks old, lay huddled together, their bodies weak and trembling, their tiny voices mewed softly, a desperate cry for warmth and care. In that moment, he knew he couldn't leave them behind. He carefully scooped the fragile bundles out of the sack, cradling them in his arms with a gentleness that came naturally to him. Their fur was matted and dusty, their eyes closed tightly as though fearful of what might come next. He made his way back home, sheltering them from the chill evening breeze as best he could. Arriving home, he placed the kittens on a soft towel, whispering words of reassurance as he prepared warm milk. He poured it into a small bottle and, one by one, he held each kitten close, allowing them to drink. Though weak and timid, they accepted the milk, their tiny tongues lapping up each drop with growing strength. Once they had eaten, he gently began cleaning them, washing away the remnants of the dirty sack and the dust from the waste site. The kittens were surprisingly calm, sensing in the man a kindness they seemed to trust. Each one clung to him with their tiny claws as he washed them, almost as though they were afraid he would let them go. But he held them securely, whispering comforting words, telling them they were safe now. As the man carefully laid them down on a soft blanket to rest, his old dog, who had watched the whole scene from a corner, padded over to investigate. The dog, who had been with the man for many years, was as much a companion as he was a friend. The man watched with amusement as the kittens hesitantly stretched out their paws toward the dog. And to his surprise, the dog responded with a wagging tail and a gentle nudge of his nose. It was as though he understood the small creature's need for comfort and safety. And from that moment, he assumed his role as their silent guardian. The kittens began to grow accustomed to their new life, and their personalities emerged in heartwarming ways. One was shy, always hiding behind the other two before attempting to explore a new corner of the house. Another was playful and curious, often climbing onto the dog's back and pouncing on his tail. The third kitten was the smallest, more delicate, and spent most of its time close to the man, snuggling into his sweater as he went about his day. In the evenings, the man would watch as the kittens chased each other across the living room, their tiny paws patting softly as they played under the watchful eyes of the dog, who always lay nearby, his gaze following their every move. As the weeks passed, the man found himself falling into a familiar routine, caring for the kittens and witnessing the unbreakable bond that grew between them. His quiet home, once filled only by his own footsteps and the soft patting of his loyal dog, was now alive with the joyful sounds of playful mews and the warm companionship of his small, growing family. Eventually, the man found himself marveling at the resilience and courage of these kittens who had been abandoned but now knew only love and safety. His dog, their steadfast protector, would often sit beside them, his soft brown eyes reflecting a gentle acceptance and pride as they nestled close to him. The kittens no longer shivered or hid, and with each passing day, they grew stronger and more playful. As they grew, the man knew they had become a part of him, filling his home and his heart in a way he hadn't anticipated. He was grateful to have found them, for in caring for them, they had given him something precious in return: the joy of seeing innocence thrive and the quiet fulfillment of providing a home for those in need.